Good afternoon, North America. Um, I've been reflecting on a lot of stuff. This is the first time I had a drink of coffee in my hands going live, and it's the very first cup we used for the very first broadcast 2 years ago. I don't know whether you can see that. Let me just see. Uh, Drink your bliss. Drink your bliss. Mm. I don't like milk in my coffee or sugar, but I like to have a chocolate bar with it. Um, we're coming to the end of week 6 now. It's a Wednesday, it's the 6th of April, and we're going to be making some changes. And I think the same with the devotionals. We're still going to do the Monday to Fridays, but I was thinking more, I really want to get into the Hebrew stuff, and I want to get into the drinking theology. And the problem I'm having is finding like we do a journal, like we've done I Hear His Whispers, and then we had the Tozer journal. Do you remember that? And now we're doing My Utmost for His Highest. And we use those as outlines. And we're using this last one, My Utmost for His Highest. Okay, to pronounce my H's is very difficult. Um, I, I want that as a framework, but at the same time, I want to be free for us to just explore and sometimes go off the path a little bit. And I was talking with John Mark this morning. Uh, we were planning to try and do a series on the Hebrew letters to teach, but you know what? I think it might be better if we did a meditation on it each day on a certain word. It's either that or we use another devotional, but. So we're going through some changes, and Debbie has been taking up the lead mainly on the Vine Press page, and she's the one that's been pushing me to do the Sunday nights again, which we will do. We're starting this coming Sunday on the 10th of April with a good friend of mine, Bill Williams. But I told Debbie this morning that I want her really to take the lead on that, on the Sunday night lives. So probably I'll be with her for the first two or three for Margie Hogg and for Michael Van Flyman, and then I'm just going to let Debbie run with it because I think she has a real gift in writing, number one, and also in she has a real gift in connecting with people. What you call a connector, if you like. Uh, Gatekeeper, but a connector. So I've told her I want her to take responsibility for that because I can't do everything. And so there's some of the changes that we're bringing in, and I value your prayers for that as we go forward. But I just want to concentrate on the mornings and evenings, and um, it's a bit like Smith Wigglesworth. Do you remember Smith Wigglesworth when he first started in ministry? He he began to take people to healing meetings. He would get a bus and he would bus people to healing meetings if there was an evangelist in town and to do healings and stuff. But the Lord's been challenging me. Look, step out the boat, John, and start to teach on what I'm showing you, especially, that commission in Isaiah 50. I'll awaken your ear to hear. But my difficulty is just trying to find a framework for it, trying to put it in a framework. And I was saying to John Mark this morning, because we were sitting down trying to plan, the lessons for the Hebrew letters. And I said, John, I can't teach that way. I can't just take a subject and hit your points. Do you know what I mean? I try my best at times. But for me, I'm uncomfortable in that. And it's a bit like David. Do you remember when David had to fight Goliath and he went to King Saul and Saul gave him his armor? Um, and he said, I can't fight in this armor that you're giving me. I have to do it how God has taught me. And each one of us are unique, and that's the same in the ministry, isn't it? Where we've been saying that over the months and years, that each and every one of us is unique, and we all have a unique way of ministering to one another. And it's finding what the business world calls, is it unique, what is it? Unique selling point, USP, your USP. What is unique about your ministry? And to concentrate on that and not try and do half a dozen other things. So I'm going to be concentrating on the mornings and evenings. And also, I do want to set up where, do you know where I come on and I say good morning to you or good afternoon? It's April the 6th, 2022. Our subject today is, well, I want to, if we can, try and take out of those lives the 20 minutes of teaching or whatever and condense it and put it on a site where people can access it freely. And then if they want to buy me a cup of coffee, which is an app that if people want to say, well, look, I was really blessed, I'll buy you a cup of coffee, and they click on it and say $5 or $2. Do you know what I mean? It's there for everybody. We have our partners that help us every month, which is a real help. Without the partnership, we couldn't do what we're doing and the equipment that we needed to start, and also the upkeep of it, So I'm very thankful for that. But at the same time, I'm conscious that I had a rant last night, didn't I? I had a rant last night on the program, about, should we continue, do you like this program? Do you like that? Because I'm feeling that the Lord is, changing the direction somehow. And for me, it's a big step. It's uncomfortable when you're moving in areas that you've not moved in before, especially before the camera. It's harder doing a camera than it is doing live. When I say live, I mean if I'm in a congregation and you're ministering, you can pick up from the congregation. Do you know what I mean? They draw from you, and sometimes I get that in the camera, in the lens. But you've got to sort of sit here, talk to the camera, not knowing whether you're hitting your points or not. And Jean says to me, well, how did it go? And well, the only way I can explain it to Jean is to say, well, it flowed tonight, or I just didn't have enough time to finish. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? So I'm thinking, what are you saying, Doug Farron? I was at the original Tim Hortons location in Hamilton, Ontario yesterday. I can send pictures. Why don't you, Doug? Why don't you do that? It'd be great. Terry, I like it when you rant. Me too. Yeah, but it's this old Baptist thing, isn't it? Being not raised in the Baptist church, saved into the Baptist church, but taught, that you have to give your introduction, your point 1, your point 2, your point 3. And I really just want to say it as it is. Does that make sense? So I value your prayers, because this is the end of the 6 weeks, and we won't be continuing with My Utmost for His Highest in the next series. And I'm thinking, to step out the boat and just start with the Hebrew letter. Well, we can do the letters, but also the words, you know what I mean, in the devotional, but it's just putting it into a framework that will help me make it consistent. So there we go. There's my little rant for today. Let's go and say hello to a few people. What you're saying, Gail, what you did yesterday evening was so real, much needed message. Yeah, that's the whole reason, Gail, I started the broadcast, is because I was so frustrated with people misunderstanding, because I was drunk. I was one of the drunkest people that came out of that move in Toronto, and but then when I began to see, when we linked into the Hebrew letters and the revelation that began to pour out of that, I realized, it's like I got the theology for the drinking, if that makes sense. I got the theology. It's like the Lord explained everything that I had been doing over the last 20 years and didn't even realize myself. So, I suppose what I'm really saying is, I want to use the morning and evenings as practice. I want to practice on you. Okay, and I'm going to make mistakes. I'm not going to get it right, and I'm not going to, it's going to take a little while to get the feel of it and see which way the Spirit leads and to put the framework in. But I think that's the only way we're going to do it because, if I try and sit down and sit, have John filming me, and well, now we're going to do the Aleph, and now the letter Beit, and then the letter Dalet. Although it's good, it's not the same. Do you understand? I've got to really, I've just got to be able to share my heart with you. That's, I think, really what I'm trying to say. And I want to thank you for being with me on the journey. And I don't know whether Barbara Pugh's on tonight. I haven't looked at the whole list, but let me just have a look up and down this list here. Yeah, you're on, Barb's. Restful day. I did take a lot of stuff there, Barbie, that you sent me in an email. And I'd love to talk to you on that, maybe on the phone sometime. And some of the stuff that you mentioned was already on the back boiler and chewing over. We're talking about Debbie, we're talking about John Mark on the technical side. But I do feel I don't wanna hold on to Vine Press. Does that make sense? It's not mine. It's not mine. It's the Lord's ministry, and but I'm responsible for it under Him, if that makes sense. I'm a co-partner with the Spirit, and I don't want to be grasping at things like Margie Hogg shared in Florida, that we own nothing. We own nothing, right? It's not even our ministry. It's the ministry of the Lord through us. So I don't know how that will work. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we are going to start the Sunday nights. They are going to be every fortnight, or for you in America, every 2 weeks. I don't know whether you use that term, fortnight. Every 2 weeks in the evening at 8 p.m. UK time on a Sunday. I'll be on the first 2, 3, or 4. But then I'm just going to step back and let Debbie run with it because I need to concentrate on the midweek, the Monday to Friday, and need the weekends to recuperate, and the 2-week gaps every 6 weeks. Does that make sense? Are we making sense? I think we are. Anyway, cheers. I'm going to drink my cup of bliss. And then let's say hello to a few people. Now, that to me, this part is very precious to me because it's part of community and I get to share with you and talk to you. And the first one on actually is Margie Hogg. And Margie, Debbie said to me today, Margie wants to know, she's got some illustrations that she wants to send for her chat with you in a couple of weeks. But she doesn't want to send them if you're not going to use them. So what I'm saying, Margie, send me an example so I can see, because I don't even know what the outline of our talk is. I want to develop that conversation on the journey into the unknown, the journey into the invisible, the journey into the vanishing point. And that's the theme when I talk with you and when we talk on live. That's the theme I want to go on. Now, whether we use Zoom and bring people in on that as an audience, but I don't want to just bring an audience in and everybody sit there, looking at the screen and nobody partakes with questions. So it's something we've got to think about, isn't it? And I'll maybe let Debbie chew that over. So if you can send me, Margie, what do we call it? Send me a sample. You don't have to send me everything. Just send me a sample. But that's the theme I'd really like to develop with you, is this journey into the vanishing point. Amen. What we discussed in Florida, just to take it a step further. Emma, good evening, everyone. Enjoying my Easter holidays in the dry but cold Highlands. I'm looking forward to my 2 weeks off as well, Emma. I'd love to get into Wales. I'd love to go to Scotland, but I don't know. It's Easter holidays and everybody's travelling. And we love being home. Do you know what I mean? We love it. It's just nice being home in the garden, stuff like that. So we'll see. Thanks again, Emma, for your partnership. And was it Robin that came on the other day and partnered with us? I'm not. We had a Robin Harvey, and I think it was. Just confirm that if it was, please. Joyce Stencil, sitting outside on a beautiful sunny day. Blessings. It's not beautiful here today, Joyce. It's one of those days where I'm glad I'm inside. Um, oh, Debbie, walking willow with the sun on my back. I don't know if you heard the conversation there, Debbie, that we just had right at the very beginning. Just confirm if you did and if you're happy with that. I know I went public with it, but we did talk about it this afternoon. Doug, good noon hour from Brantford, Ontario. Spring is here. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 centigrade. I love you, Doug. I love it. I love your uniqueness. You know, if we were all the same, how boring it would be. I love how everybody is unique. Linda Pennington, good day to you, Linda. Um, and it is good day, isn't it? It's good afternoon to you. I'm just trying to think where you are. You're 6 hours, I think. I think you're 6 hours. Are you on Central Time? Madeline Kirby, good noon from Kirby. I do like Oswald Chambers. Makes me think deeper on my walk with the Lord. I love him, Madeline. I love him. I do you know what? Last week for me was a whole revelation on intercession. You know, those 5 days that we did last week. I saw it in a different light, and I thought, you know what? We could do a whole study on that. We could do a whole masterclass just on intercession. Um, so there we go. It's not. I'm not finishing with it because I dislike it. It's just I'm feeling the Lord just saying to me now, just switch it now, John. It's like when I first got married. When I first got married, I've got to speak low because Jean, I don't want Jean to hear this. You know, Jean didn't know what I liked for a meal, so she cooks my first meal. I forget what it was, and she said, "Did you like that?" I said, "Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that was good." So then she made it the next night and the next night, and I said, "Jean, I do like it, but to to have the same diet every day is not good. You've got to mix it again. Here's that letter bait, that interaction, that variety, and that's why we're all different. That cross pollination. So there we go. Don't tell anybody. Don't share. That's a secret between you and I. Jean doesn't often. She gets embarrassed listening, to the devotionals. Um, so she won't know. So don't make any comments in the comments because she reads the comments. Okay. Where are we? Anne Richardson. Did I finish with you, Madeline? Yes, my walk with the Lord deeper. Yes, it does, and it's good, isn't it? To see it through a different lens is very good. To see it from another point of view. Anne Richardson, good evening, all. Good evening to you, Anne. Uh, Doug Farron, hi everyone. The drinks are on, John. Oh, Doug, yeah. Cheers to you. Kimo, good evening. We have Bliss Oil. When you say Bliss Oil, Kimo, what is that? Is that cooking oil or is that Bliss Oil for cars and stuff? Engineering oil? Anyway, Bliss Oil. You should get a picture of it, Kimo. Get a picture of the container that it comes in and post it for us, or email me it, and I'll put it up on the on the broadcast. Gail Ann, good afternoon from Florida. Many blessings to all of you. Yay, amen, Gail. God bless you, Gail. Luann, blessings to all from Nebraska. Glad you got back from your doctor's appointment, Luann. And I know that the team are praying for Bill. Excuse me. I know the team are praying for Bill and for good health and recovery. Margaret Gill, good evening, one and all. Good evening to you, Margaret, from the secret place. Mary Costello, hi everyone. It's a beautiful day in Lancaster County. Oh, don't get me jealous. Please, please, Mary. Please. You're not cutting grass, are you? You're not cutting grass. Shayna, Maria, where you from, Shayna? Howdy do. What are you saying, Debbie? Usually, tell us where you're from, Shayna. Am I pronouncing your name right as well? Is it Shana or Shayna? Uh, Debbie, usually call me Bossy. Well, you are a busy bee, Deb, and you take after your name, and it's good. It's good. It's good that you're that way. Uh, Joe Costello, blessings to you, Joe. You know, Joe, when you come on, I don't know whether it's Mary or whether it's you, whether Mary's using your internet, because I know you've been on a few times. Anyway, there you go. I know that's Joe now, Joe Costello from Pennsylvania. Mary Costello, Debbie does have a few real gifts. She always makes me feel like I've eaten the best choice meat. I know, Mary, I tell her that. I tell her, give yourself to your writing, Deb. Give yourself to your writing. Luann Wyman, yes, Debbie has many gifts. There you go. uh, Terry, I love the icon that you put on there. Joyce, yes, John, be yourself. I'm trying, Joyce. I'm trying my very best. You know, oftentimes when you preach to yourself first. Um, what are you saying? Uh, Doug, yes, Debbie, praying for you. Gaylan, I agree. Diane, Evelyn Clark, good afternoon. John and Worldwide Tribe. Blessings to all from Barry. Blessings to you, Diane. Emma Harvey, I love the idea of meditating on Hebrew letters. Do you know what, Emma? I was doing some research last night and I came across a site and I can't remember where it was, but it was a Jewish site. And what they'd done is they'd taken the letters and they'd done it in cartoon form, and it was a picture of a scribe with a long beard and a little child, and they'd taken each of the letters and put music to it and everything. It was great. It was great. And I think I'm able to share it as long as I give credit to the people. So I've got to try and find that. So I might do that. We might do a 22. What's 22? 4 weeks is 5. 2 2s. That might be a good idea to build it round that. Joyce, you love the rant, yes. sometimes, sometimes I used to feel, Joyce, uh, when that spirit hit me, when that anointing would hit me, where I would rant. I'd look at the congregation, I'd see them all in white coats, and I used to say to them, "You're my psychiatrist. I feel like I'm getting therapy here by unloading stuff that's been stirring me up." Uh, Emma Harvey, me too, Terry. I like it when you rant. Thank you, Terry. Doug, John, I was at the original Tim Hortons located in Hamilton, Ontario yesterday. I can send pictures. I've got it now. When you say the original Tim Hortons, you're talking about the very first one that was opened in Canada. Uh, I'd love it if you could send me pictures of that too. If you send it on Messenger, or what's the other one that we use with the green icon? I can't remember what the other one is. Gail, yeah, I agree. Much needed. What you're trying to do, Gail, is, the difficulty is you're trying to not be judgmental, but at the same time, it's a wake up call, if that makes sense. Luann, me too. Emma, the world needs real people. It's refreshing. Joyce, go for it. Yeah. Terry, it's a hard job, Terry. Yes, it is. Amen, amen, amen. Uh, Marky Hawk. I don't mind being practiced on. I like the idea of going into the Hebrew words. Yeah, yeah. I think what it is, Margie, is I think the safety of doing a devotional, um, it's the outline keeps you. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like a safety rope when you're going out there. And I'm really now sort of saying I'm going out without the safety rope. Uh, I don't mind being practiced on. I like the idea of going into the Hebrew words. Linda, love this idea. Joyce, me too. Luan, love it when you share your heart. John, can't always do it, Luan. You know, it's times when the Lord does it. You know what I mean? There's times when I'm. It's not that I'm being lazy. Do you know what I mean? I do believe like you have to study. I do believe that you have to prepare. I don't believe that you can just drink coffee all day and then go before the camera or go shopping and then just go before the camera and just open your mouth and speak. I believe that you have to wait on the Lord, all of that stuff. It's just and sometimes, you know, when I know when that rant's coming, I can't get my points together in the prep uh, of the, you know, for the devotional. I can't get the points together. And then I know that the Lord is wanting to say something that I haven't prepared. Uh, Thanks for that, Luan. Uh, Joyce, we're growing and changing with you. It's a joy. Thank you, Joyce. I appreciate that. Terry, condition sends example coming soon. Now I'm losing the thread there. Gail, you are so honored that God allowed you to be part of this group, learning so much as the journey is such a joy. And there's the drinks. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, thank you for that, Gail. It's an honor to have you. And I thank you, Joyce and uh, Gail, you know, because you run um, the hangouts for the American group. And I know I don't join. I don't even join the ones in the UK, Gail, because do you know I'm trying to. It's trying to get the balance. Well, not the balance, but you're trying to stay focused on one thing and let people run it, and you don't want to step on their toes. Uh, Terry, God will give you nations. I believe that, Terry. I believe God has called us to the nations. Joyce agrees too. Debbie says, I heard, I'll give it a go. Mary Costello. Mary, I think you're one of Debbie's sidekicks there. I'll be the intercession. I'm a fan. Yeah. What are you saying, Debbie? Nobody gets to spectate. We're all stepping out the boat. Yes. Alan, yay, Alan. Great to see you all. Oh, that's my brother, by the way. It is my elder brother, isn't it? Alan Keith Scotland. Because don't you have a son? Don't you have a son, Alan? That's Reese Owl's Intercessor. I've read it, Alan. I've got it. I've got the book. I've got the book. I've got the other one as well. The one that Reese Howells. Alan used to be the what is it, Alan? What did we call it? Not the headmaster. What's the other name that you use? There's another name that you use for headmaster that you took over. You went to Bible college. It might be nice to do it might be nice, Alan, actually, to do an interview with you on that, to talk over some stuff. You know, we're getting on in years now, and might be nice to get something recorded, you know, for future generations. Just drop me a bell or a message, and I'll get back to you. Terry, cute. Debbie Beck, ignorance is bliss. Kimo, bliss oil is anointing oil from Winnie. Winnie Banoff. I've got you, Kimo. I've got you. I thought it was some cooking oil that you. I thought it was a cooking oil that you used in Finland, but it's not. Okay, quickly. It is Robin, my husband. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Robin, for that as well. I'm really touched. Shane Marie, you're from Wisconsin. Whereabouts in Wisconsin, Shauna? Did you did you go to the church I went to in Appleton, Pastor Bidle's church? Trying to think of the name of it. Did you ever go there? Did I meet you there, or was it in Kenosha? Um, there you go, Shauna, Shauna. That's how it. Shauna. I got you. I got you. Uh, Mary Costello, Joe and I. You can see that we're spending a bit of time just talking today and not really getting into the teaching. But I'd love to get into that. I wanted to get into this psalm. Where are you? And we're already out of time. What are you saying, Joe? Joe and I are on our own phones. He is in the basement. He's in the doghouse. he's he's in the basement building birdhouses. Whoa! I'm upstairs. Oh, okay. Okay, Barbara Pugh, you've always followed him immediately, my dear friend, whatever the cost. You're lovely. Thank you. Are you talking to me there, Barbs? Gaylan, it's okay. You have enough to do. Alan Keefe, Scotland, director. No, not just director, Alan. It was, oh boy, there's a name for it that they use mainly in America. We call them headmasters of the school. Uh, Shauna, you live in don't forget, the onus is on you to get in touch with me, to email me, so then I know you really mean it, and it would be a Sunday night sometime. Uh, Shauna Maria, I live in Wisconsin Rapids. I don't think I've been there, Shauna, and you've never met me. Okay, you used to live in Superior. Is that Wisconsin? Yeah, Wisconsin. You're a cheesehead then. Valley Harvest Church, that's it. Valley Harvest Church is the church that I used to go to. The principal, that's it, Madeline. Thank you. Took an English lady living in America 30 odd years to tell me. It's the principal, Alan. That's what we're talking about. What we used to call the headmaster. I think you were principal of the college, weren't you, as well as a director. Emma Harvey, rector. No, not the rector. Debbie Beck, principal. Yeah, that's the email, Alan, jsm2@me.com. Oh, I see. Debbie has given you that. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. And maybe Debbie will interview you on that, Alan, because, she's coming in from a different angle. Okay, so there we go. Where are we? We're 17:35. We're not having, I don't think we're having a cooked meal tonight because we had a cooked meal at dinner time with the family. So I can go over a few minutes. Are we okay to do that? Let's go to Psalm 34. And if I can take you there via the overhead. And I'm using the Passion Translation. And I want to show you something. I shared it this morning about, when people say to you, this drinking term, and if you want full understanding, you really need to listen to last night's broadcast because we got on to the ins and outs of it. What we call drinking the Spirit. In Psalm 34, verse 6, and let me just see if I can take you in a bit closer. When I had nothing, desperate and defeated, I cried out to the Lord, and he heard me, bringing his miracle deliverance when I needed it most. The angel of the Lord stooped down to listen as I prayed. Do you remember the angel that came to Daniel? Daniel had been praying and fasting, and the angel came to him, I think it was after 21 days, and said to him, I've had to wrestle to get to you. So this really, we could call this a ministry of angels, couldn't we? The angel of the Lord stooped down to listen as I prayed, encircling me, empowering me, and showing me how to escape. Let me just underline those. We're talking about intercession. Intercession releases angelic visitation. The angel of the Lord stooped down. Now, I think it's Hebrews. Oops, my line's not very straight there. I think it's Hebrews that says that angels, you know, are, they stoop down, they're listening, they're very curious beings to listen as I prayed, encircling me, empowering me, and showing me how to escape. And you see that? Let me read that again. Very, very powerful. The angel of the Lord, he stooped down to listen as I prayed. So your prayers are powerful. Do you know the angels are listening into your prayers, and they are, well, the word angel is messenger. So, you know, they come with messages. They take your prayers before the throne. They stooped down to listen as I prayed, encircling me. Now, there's another psalm that says that the angels of the Lord encircle those that fear him. Encircling me, not only do they encircle you, they empower you. And not only do they encircle you, empower you, stoop down to listen to your prayers, it says they showed me how to escape. That's what you need to pray for if you're in a difficult situation. Ask the Lord to, well, don't even ask the Lord to send the angels. They will come. They will come. They come when you pray. They stoop down to listen, and they encircle you, empower you, and then they'll show you a way of escape. And there's another scripture there that says that there's no temptation that's overcome you, that the Lord won't make a way of escape for you. So when you're praying in a difficult situation and you're looking for a way out and your back's against the wall, expect angelic visitation. Expect angels to encircle you. Visualize them stooping down and listening to you. And then just be in faith to receive. And sometimes you don't receive it right away. You maybe receive it the following day, or in a situation that is totally unspiritual. You know, you're doing your secular stuff, your mundane stuff, and then suddenly you'll get enlightened and the Lord will show you, give you ideas how to get out of the situation you're in. Let me just go back to this verse then. In verse 2, not verse 2, I'm thinking of my number 2 that I have to press to get this. Encircling me and showing me how to escape. Now look at this. He will do this for everyone who fears God. The angel of the Lord surrounds those that fear him, and he will do it for everyone. And the condition is those that are in awe of him, those that fear him. And I don't mean by a terrified way, and yet sometimes it is terrifying when God moves on you. But, you know, you're in awe of him, you respect him, you honor God. Yeah? For those that will honor him, for those that will fear him, he'll do it for them. What's it say? Where we are, he will do this. Verse, where are we? These verses are so small, I have to look at them very carefully. Verse 7, he will do this for everyone who fears God. And then we come on to this verse here, and I want to finish on this. I touched on it this morning. Drink deeply of the pleasures of this God. Now, I can't take it because I don't have it set up, but if I look up there, drink deeply of the pleasures of this God, right beside it is a small b, and if we go down to here, we read this in the notes. Many translations read, taste and see, and the Hebrew root word for see is taken from a word that means to drink deeply. Isn't that wonderful? Drink deeply. Drink deeply. Now, quickly, let me show you something in the Hebrew for this word. And if I can find it and get my notes together and get myself together, this word in Let's see. Taste and see. And it's this word see. Taste and see. And it's these letters here. I'm doing this in Hebrew, right to left. I don't know whether I got that right, but it's a mem. That's a mem. And don't forget that every letter has a code value and a picture value. This is 9. This is 70. And this is 40. Now, the picture value for this, we have to go back to the very first time it's mentioned, and it's mentioned in the creation story. And it's where God says he looked at what he'd done and he said it was good. So the picture value for this is goodness. This one, its numerical value is 70. Now you may say, well, where'd you get all this from? Well, Bollinger is one. The other code that I showed you the other day, the divine codes. These are books that I use to research. But Bollinger's a famous one. So coming back to this, goodness, seeing, and what's very, if I was to put this and take it a bit deeper, I would call this one discernment. Because in the Hebrew, it has an evil eye and a good eye. So it's being able to discern which is good, which is bad. And that's something that we desperately need. Now, do you understand something here? Taste and see. And here the writer is saying in this book here, if I can show it you again, many translations read taste and see. The Hebrew root word for see is taken from a word that means to drink deeply. So do you get that, church? Do you get it that drinking is not just, a way of, well, I just want to get involved in my emotions and feel high and feel good. It's actually from Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 4, he brought me into his banqueting. And that word banqueting is, in the Hebrew, it's he brought me into his house of wine, strong wine, intoxicating wine. John chapter 2, the very first miracle was he turned the water into wine at a wedding feast. And they were pots for purification. So we were reading that from 1 Peter chapter 2 this morning. The fact that desire the sincere milk of the word, the importance of the word, that it acts as a antibiotic against all the other things that it listed, the jealousy, the envy, the hypocriticalness, the Phariseeism, that if we will get into the milk of the word and drink at the multi-breasted one, that we would grow thereby. So you want to know how to grow in the Spirit? How can I grow, mature in the Spirit? Let God lead you into the word and feast on his word and drink deeply. Okay, I'm out of time. The Lord bless you. Let me just see if anybody else has commented here. Let me just stick with me a tick. Let's see, Valley Harvest Church. Does anybody else I need to answer to? Larry Pearson, good afternoon, Larry. Abundance from Niagara Falls. Great to have you on. Drinking deeply in the Spirit helps us to see him more. Not only that, Doug, helps us to discern. Helps us to discern between good and evil. There we go. Lynn, I'm out of time. We will go into the rest of C, because I need to get into the words. I need to prepare for that. And I'm out of time. We've been here all day. I've got a limit. I'm already 20 minutes over, and I've got to play the credits. Yeah. So anyway, there we go. So we'll get into that a bit deeper. May the Lord bless you, keep you, cause His face to shine upon you, and grant you ding dongs and boings and hays and ho.